You come say hi? I haven't even started yet. Pause up. Right here. Good boy, puppy. I love you. Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be doing another book haul. I don't know why, I just keep getting so many books. I need to calm down. Really. This will hopefully be my last book haul until... Never mind, I take that back because I'm going to Y'all Fest, so I'll have another one then. But then after that, until Christmas. But then maybe Black Friday. You guys know how this works, so I'm just gonna jump into the books. The first book I picked up from Costco. I'd actually never been to Costco before, so that was pretty interesting. And they actually have decently priced newer books there. So I picked up Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard by The Hammer of Thor. This is the second book in the Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard series. And it follows Magnus Chase, who is the descendant of a Norse god, and it has some overlap with the Percy Jackson series. So I do recommend reading all of the Percy Jackson books first and then reading this book, because this is Annabeth Chase's cousin. So, mild spoiler. I really enjoyed the first book, and I'm curious to see where it'll all go. I'm not too knowledgeable about Norse mythology, and so I find these books really interesting because I'm learning a lot, where I love the Percy Jackson books because I knew all the myths already. So I was like, oh, I see that, and I see that, and I see that. This is all new to me, so I really enjoy learning and having a fantastic time. I also think that Rick Riordan has gotten better about writing diverse characters into his books, and so there's a lot of different things going on in this, and I just really enjoy it. I think I did a book review for the first book of this, so I will leave that up in the card symbol and you can check that out if you want to. The next book I got is You Deserve a Drink, Boozy Misadventures and Tales of Debauchery by Mamrie Hart, which is a YouTuber. I really think that she's so funny. Sometimes she's a little blunt, but I really think that she's so funny. So I wanted to check out her book and give it a go, and I think learning a little bit more about Mamrie will be funny. And I am actually thinking about doing something with her channel, sort of with my personal channel that I have, which is linked down below. Look out for that on my personal channel. BookOutlet always gets me when they post on Twitter books that are popular, and I always want to check and see them. So they posted on Twitter that they had the UK editions of the Harry Potter books, the ones that have stars on them. So I picked up the third book, which is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Obviously, I really enjoy these covers, so I want to collect them all. And so when I saw this one for like $4 or something like that on BookOutlet, it doesn't have a remainder mark. I was totally on board with that, and I am so excited. So now I have the first one and the third one, and I'm just going to be collecting the other ones here and there. I just want all of the editions of Harry Potter, basically. I also picked up from BookOutlet The Magical Papers by Angie Sage. This is the Septimus Heap companion book. One second. I've read all 7 books in the Septimus Heap series, and I also read 2 books in the sequel series, which is called the Todd Hunter Moon series, and I'm not loving that one, so I don't know if I'm going to continue with that, but I did really enjoy the Septimus Heap series. One weird thing, though, is that the companion book is enormous, and this is the size of each of the actual books. So, like, I have no idea who designed that, but that is going to be super annoying on my shelf. I might end up laying this flat and then having the books stack on top of it, like so. But I'm curious to see what else is in here. It has a lot of pictures of the characters, so that is Jenna, if you were curious. And yeah, just love it. Now we're on to one of my unopened packages. I forgot my scissors. I'm gonna be using this pen. You guys know the drill. With all the frickin' paper. So BookOutlet has those sales every once in a while where it's like 50 books for 50% off, and they always are themed. So sometimes they're coloring books, other times they're children's books. This particular order, I made it during the science fiction one because I really have been wanting to get more into science fiction. Also, I've already read one of the books that I bought because I wanted it in hardcover and I had it in paperback. So I bought The Three-Body Problem by Liu Cixin and translated by Ken Liu in hardcover so that it would match the third book in the series that I have, which is also hardcover, and I got this second book as well. So now I have all 3 of them in matching hardcovers. I feel like they look just really smart on the shelf. And I also have signed book plates from Tor, so I think I'm going to be using these and putting them in the hardcovers instead of keeping them in the paperbacks that I was given. What I'm going to do with the paperbacks, I'm not sure yet, but I'm really excited to have all matching editions because I'm crazy and I make bad decisions with spending money. The next book I got is also science fiction, and that is The End of All Things by John Scalzi. This is the most recent book, I believe, in his Old Man War series. I love the Old Man's War series. It is so funny. I just love John Scalzi's humor in his writing. So I want to continue along with the series. I haven't read the fourth book in the series, which is a retelling of the third book with a different character. So I'm just waiting on reading that one for now, but I could definitely jump into this book soon and probably absolutely love it as well. I forgot to tell you what it's about. So basically, Earth has started colonizing other planets, and there is something called the Colonial Defense Forces, which is the space army of humans. But the Colonial Defense Forces doesn't tell Earth a lot of stuff that's going on, and a lot of people don't really know what's happening. To enlist in the military, you have to be 65 years, and then they don't take you till you're 75 or something like that. The main character of the first book enlists in the army, and then on his birthday he ends up actually going off and fighting aliens. There's also some rumors that they have some biological manipulations and such to make them younger or to live longer, stuff like that. So I just really enjoyed it so much, and I definitely recommend it if you're trying to get into science fiction. The first book, Old Man's War, is super easy to get into, super fast paced, and I definitely recommend it for people. So this is the last science fiction book that I got from this order, and that is going to be Guardian by Alex London. This is the second book in the Proxy duology, which I read the first book not long ago and really enjoyed it. It's about a boy who is living in a science fiction-y dystopian world where if you're rich enough, you can pay for someone else to take your punishments for you. So if you break the law, the proxy would get hurt or jail time or whatever instead of you. This is also LGBTQ plus YA fiction. So I read the first book for Diversathon and was really interested in continuing with the series. The first one surprised me in certain parts, but it was also very familiar. Like, I got into the story really easily, but then I didn't know exactly how things were going to happen. I thought the main character was really realistic about the way that he was thinking when in those situations. So yeah, I liked that one. Gonna be continuing. I'll let you know what I think when I finish it. Also by Alex London, but it says C. Alexander London, is The Wild Ones, which is his middle grade series about street raccoons. I saw Alex London at YALLFest last year talking about this book in a panel where they were talking about how to include animals and creatures in fiction and the thought processes about doing that. And he was talking about how you have to balance having animals be able to think and communicate when in stories such as this one, but then you also have to make sure that they have those traits that make them those animals. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how he does it in this book, and I enjoyed Proxy again, so I'm curious to see what else he's written. Also, he's hilarious, so we'll see. I also got Keeper of Lost Cities Exile by Shannon Messenger. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I had a fair number of big problems with it, but I enjoyed the story overall, and so I decided to continue. This one's way bigger than the first one, but they are super quick reads, so I am curious to see if some of the problems that I had with the first one will be fixed in this book, because I will just be so disappointed if they're still there. But I'll let you guys know when I read it. And the last book from BookOutlet that I got, which I'm pretty excited about, is going to be Hunter of Chaos. I've been meaning to read more middle grade fantasy that has female leads, and this one is that. It has 4 girls, and they are all able to turn into different types of cats, and they're all from different cultures. So I think there's a Native American. I want to say there is someone maybe that's Mayan. I think there's a girl that has African descent, and one that has Eastern Asian descent. I could be so wrong on that, but I really do think that there is a bunch of different ethnicities for the main characters of these girls and the different cats that they can turn into. So I'm curious to see how that will be done. It's also pretty short, so I'll be able to knock this one out pretty quickly, and I hope to do that pretty soon, because if I like it, then I'll continue with the series and buy more. Oh, I also got a coupon. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to unbox this enormous box from Tor. They asked me if I wanted to participate in some of their promotions and everything like that, and I of course said yes, because Tor is one of my favorite publishing companies. I really enjoy a lot of the stuff that they publish up and down their spectrum, from adult science fiction, adult fantasy, to teen fantasy and science fiction, as well as middle grade stuff. So yeah, I just want all the books from them that I can get my hands on. So the first thing in here is just a little thank you for participating. And then it has a list of all the books that I've been sent. Then there's also the sticker, which is fun. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I may possibly put it on the back of my computer or something like that. I don't know. I always get iffy about putting stickers on stuff, but you guys don't care about that. And then when you open it, it has some paper inside. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. Oh wow. Whoa, that's so cool. Okay, so as a special thanks, they ended up sending me a signed copy of George R. R. Martin and Melinda Snodgrass's Wild Cards High Stakes. I'm not sure about this series too much. I know that it has a lot of different people that write in it, and I know that I've been interested in it for a long time, but the series is pretty long, and I don't know at what points you can jump into the story, because I think that they build in different points where people can jump into the story without having read the previous books, because I feel like there's cycles of stories, so I think it's maybe like sets of trilogies and then you can jump in. I'm not exactly sure. So if you guys know anything about the Wild Cards series organized by George R. R. Martin and Melinda Snodgrass, that would be awesome. Look at that. Yay! It's signed by so many people. That is so cool. If I can get my hands on Fort Freak, I think that's when I can jump into the series. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, anyone that knows. Let's get started. I'm gonna start off with this one. So the first book in here that I see is gonna be The Family Plot by Cherie Priest. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is a thriller horror book, and it follows a guy named Chuck, and his business or something is not doing very well. So when someone offers him the chance to take the resources off of their land, he jumps at the chance, and then some weird stuff starts happening, and I just don't really know too much about that. I like to go into thrillers and horrors not knowing as much because I find them more fun that way. So I'll definitely be reading this one and doing a review for you guys. All of these books I am pretty much hoping to review, and sooner rather than later. I've been a little bit behind on my review copies, but I'm getting back on track, and I'm like 5 behind before getting these. So I have a lot of reading to do. I'm sorry, but I will definitely be reading this one soon because I want to read some spooky reads for October. So next book in here is going to be Stranded by Bracken McLeod. This one follows a group of people that are on a ship, and then they get stranded in the Arctic. And then they are trying to get back to civilization, but one by one they start suffering from this illness, and some weird stuff is going on. It's another thriller. This one actually makes me think of Ice Hunt by James Rowlands, which I haven't read yet. Maybe I'll read this one and kind of kickstart wanting to know more about Arctic thrillers, and then I'll read Ice Hunt. But yep, review hopefully coming soon. So the next one, I think the final thriller that's going to be in this box, is Mirror Image by Michael Scott and Melanie Ruth Rose. This one follows a guy who owns an antique shop. Then he buys this mirror that he thinks is going to be the steal of the century. It turns out this mirror is evil and is causing the deaths of employees of the store. Then the main character becomes suspected of being involved with that, but he can't get rid of the mirror because he's become very attached to it. So we'll see what's going on with this funky mirror. Spooky reads for October. It's a little bit late for that now by the time this video goes up, but I still want to read some, so I'll probably be reading these in between Y'all Fest and Christmas, which is not the right time, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The next book I got is The Rains by Greg Hurwitz. This book follows two brothers, Chance and Patrick, when their town turns into a war zone. Apparently there's this disease that is affecting all of the adults in their community. Once you reach 18, it kind of affects you and you turn into some feral beast. This makes me think of zombies. I don't know if it's zombies or not, but it makes me think of that. There's some type of adult apocalypse and the children are having to fend for themselves. The catch is that Patrick is about to turn 18 in a few days, and so now Chance has to try to figure out everything that is happening and save his brother from becoming one of these evil human things. I guess I should be saying when all of these come out. This one just came out a couple of days ago by the time I'm filming this, so this came out October 18th, so you can check it out now in stores if you want to. This one already came out as well, so you're good on that front. This one already came out, and this one already came out. So all of these books are already out so far that I've gone through. Next, there's a bunch of buttons in here, so I figured I'd just show you those. So the first one is this Tor Teen button, then this Brandon Sanderson Arcanum Unbound button, and a button for Cloudbound. There's more buttons. So we've got a Wild Cards button, a Conjuring of Light button, and the Geek Feminist button. I really need to get something to put all these buttons on. The next book in here is going to be Red Right Hand by Levi Black. This one is already out as well, so you can pick this up in stores if it sounds interesting to you. This one follows a girl who is described as being a survivor, and she is just trying to fight to survive in this world, and then she gets cornered by these beasts, these things called skinhounds, and then she's saved by a man in black. Turns out the man in black is actually a god, and then he forces her to become his acolyte and train underneath him and accept these dark powers that she's had but didn't know that she had. It makes me think of Hades and Persephone, how Hades is a god and he makes Persephone come down to the underworld with him and she becomes the queen of the underworld. I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to be a Hades and Persephone's retelling, but based off the synopsis, that's what I'm getting. The next two books are the first two books in a series. That is going to be Updraft by Fran Wilde, as well as Cloudbound by Fran Wilde. This follows a girl who is really wanting to get these wings so that she can fly around. I'm not really sure on that, if it's like mechanical wings. No, they're actually wings that they wear on their bodies. And she gets in trouble and she ends up getting her family in trouble, I believe. And so to protect her family, she gives up her dream of flying and she has to join the Singers, which is a secretive governing body. And so she goes to this mysterious tallest spire in their world. So it seems like they're living on these very tall spires. That's why they can fly and stuff. And then she starts to uncover all of these things that are going wrong. I really like this. It actually makes me think of the Aeronauts Windlass a little bit because I know that there are inspires in that book as well. I have not read that one yet. This is the winner of the Andre Norton Award. So I'll be checking out these as well. Thank you again, Tor. There are so many books. I am so swamped with review books now. It is insane. Okay, there's also a bookmark in here that says The Wishing World. It looks like a middle grade fantasy. It looks like this girl has some powers and she's fighting a griffin or something like that. I haven't heard about this before, but it's published by Starscape, which is their middle grade publishing people. I then got sent Seriously Wicked by Tina Connolly. So basically this follows a witch, and when a demon is summoned or something like that and invades a cute boy at school, she then has to go on a mission to try to save Devin and get rid of the demon. The second book in this series is coming out on November 1st, which at the time of this video, it may already be out because I don't know when this is going to go up. But that one is called Seriously Shifted. It almost seems like a little bit ridiculous. Like it may be a little bit of a spoofy kind of take on teenage witches and everything like that. I hope it doesn't try to take itself too seriously. If it does, I'm gonna have some problems. But it just seems like it's gonna be a really fun romp. We're getting down to the bottom, we're getting there. So there's more buttons in here. The next button is a button that says Hex on it. And then I also got a button that says Press Back. This is from Metal Towns, which is a book that has either coming out soon or already came out. I have an ARC for it, and I haven't read it yet. I'm sweating right now. This video is so long. I also got Everfair by Nisi Shaw. I've heard some mixed things about this actually, but this is an alternate history. If the Congo had been advanced enough to repel being invaded, what would have happened? It seems pretty steampunky to me, so we'll see. I don't know too much about it other than that, and I don't know if I really want to, but some friends of mine have enjoyed it, some haven't as much, so I'm curious to see where I'll fall on that spectrum. This one has already come out as well. Oh my god. More books. I got a tattoo for Metal Town. I also got this little bag of The Last Harvest. That's creepy. They gave me a little baby. What the heck? I don't really know what that is. That book in here? No, so I don't really know what that baby has to do with The Last Harvest, but that is a little bit terrifying. I am not going to keep this in my house. The next science fiction book is going to be Invisible Planets by Kin Liu. This is a collection of short stories that are written by Chinese authors, and then Kin Liu has translated them. I've read The Three-Body Problem that is translated by Kin Liu and really enjoyed his translation. I think he does a really good job of keeping those Chinese elements in there, but translating it in a way that it doesn't alienate English readers where they can understand certain things. I don't know. He just does a really good job. So I'm excited to see what else he's done. And I also haven't really gotten into short fiction too much. So I think that this will be an easy way for me to jumpstart into getting into some shorter fiction. And this will help me continue my diversity reading in the future. And the last book in the box and the last book in this haul is going to be Alien Morning by Rick Wilbur. This book comes out November 8th. It follows a guy named Peter, and he's in a position where he is going to be the one that is recording and helping with communicating with an alien race that has come into contact with humans. And then as the story goes along, he finds out that these aliens aren't as benevolent as they at first seemed, and there's also some different camps within the alien race, and they all have different agendas and everything like that. So pretty excited about this. I think he starts falling for an alien as well. Like, he starts to fall in love with one. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic is working. So that's everything that's going to be in this book haul. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below if you've read any of these books, what your thoughts have been. Help me prioritize which books I should be reading first and reviewing for you guys. If any of these books sound super interesting to you, but you want me to review it first before you check it out, let me know that down in the comments as well as if you have any information on when I can start the wildcard series, because I kind of want to sooner rather than later. So let me know how this whole series is working, when I can jump in. Do I have to start at the first one? All of those things down below. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.